We are working with list and tuples in Python. We had already worked with the Python programming earlier. We had worked with the Jupyter notebook earlier. Today we are working with Visual Studio Code and we will see how lists and tuples are there in Python. This topic is very important for the interview purpose when you are going for a Python developer interview. So let's quickly start. What is the difference between list and tuple? First of all, we will concentrate on the concept of list and then we will go for the tuples. So list is what? List is basically a storage in Python where you can store the data. Or we can say list is a type of data structure in Python which is ordered. This thing you have to always remember, which is ordered, mutable, and this thing will be always and always there in whenever they are going to ask you interview that what is mutable, what is immutable. So this thing is a little bit technical term, but what does it means? So you can write here, this is changeable, so you can change it. We will see how it is practically. We are not just concentrating on theory. We are, as I told every time, that as I believe that the Python programming or any other programming is all about the practicals. So we believe in practicals. Ordered, mutable, and it will store the duplicate values. So this thing you have to always and always remember, and we will see practically how it is. So list, whenever you will see, for example, L is a variable and I am putting a bracket here and I'm just trying to store some values. It can be the text values. It can, for example, the list of vegetables, list of fruits, list of employees, list of anything I can put. So for example, I'm taking the list of numbers. So I just say random numbers are there and I'm taking the numbers like this. So inside it, whenever there are the pair of brackets in Python and it is inside it you are putting some values, so this thing is called as list. So pair of bracket. Okay, now you are going to store it. So what is first thing? It is ordered. Ordered means if you have worked with the arrays, that in arrays there was a concept of indexing. Indexing means each element is at a particular position. So in array we were saying it starts with a 0 and end with the L-1. L-1 means the number of elements are there, and -1 means if the number of elements are 10, so it will be from 0 to 9. In the similar manner, in the list also indexing is there. For example, the number 6 is at third position, but its index will be 0, 1 and 2. So in Python also you have to remember, in list the indexing starts with a 0 and ends with L-1. That means L is a limit. If the limit is 20, it will be reached to 19. If it is 100, it will reach to 99. So this thing you have to always and always remember. What does it mean? So for example, I want to display the value which is at third position or fourth position. So if I say fourth position, so that means it is 3, L of 3, because it starts with 0. So which value is at the fourth position? 1, 4, 6 and 8. So 8 is at the fourth position. So if I just try to run the code, it should display me the same thing which theoretically we are saying. So 8 is a value which I am getting, isn't it? So this is called indexing, that is ordered. Ordered means it will be always starting with the 0. It is not like that you can put in any order. Later on in the coming sessions, in the coming videos, we will see there are the data structures, there are the storage container where we will see they are not ordered, because list is an ordered. Ordered means its indexing will be always start with a 0 and L-1. This thing you have to always and always remember. So in list, one more thing you have to always remember, ordering is here in reverse also. That means if I want to extract this 33, so one way is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. If I say L of 5, that means indexing of 5, so I'll get the 33 value, isn't it? So there is another method also. Which method? That is called as forward indexing and backward indexing. So in Python, list and tuple have forward and backward both indexing. Forward is from 0 to L-1, and when I say backward indexing, backward means from the from the end, from the right hand side. Okay, so when I say back for backward indexing, it will be -1 to up to the values are there. So it will be -1, -2, -3. It is not 0. It's not 0, right? So that means, what does it mean? That means if I say -1 is this, so if I say -1 here instead of 1, if I am saying, see, remember this, if I say 1, that will be 0, this 4, it will print 4. But if I just go with -1 here, it will display you 33, and we will just see it practically whether it is giving. Yes, it is giving. In the similar manner, you can just say -4. So -1, -2, -3 and -4. So -4 will give you the value 6. So if you just try to run the code, and you will see the value is 6. So in this way, you can work with the, you can say, your list, how it is ordered. So next thing is, okay, next thing is your mutable. Mutable means changeable. So for example, we will say, okay, this value 8 is not 8 here. Mistakenly I have typed it. It is 80 and I want to change it. So you can change with the backward indexing or the forward indexing. So what I do, I just print here all L, and if I want to change it, so I say L off. So I need to remember only the indexing. So either it is -1, -2 and -3, or it's 0, 1, 2 and 3. So here I put 3 and I change it to, for example, 88 or 89, and then I again print this list, print L. Now the value should be changed. That is the meaning of this mutable, that I can change the value whatever there is inserted. So something is mutable is not defined. Why it is saying mutable is not defined here? Because I am just trying to run it. Okay, so L of 3, if I just try to run the code again, and I just see yes. So now 1, 4, 6, 8, 22, 33, 1, 4, 6, 89. Instead of 8, now it has been replaced by 89. So this is possible in your list. List says I am mutable. Again, an interview level question. They can ask you what is the difference between mutable data structure and immutable. That means what is the difference between list and tuples. So you have to remember all the things. Mutable, and this is 101% going to be, they can ask you in an interview. This is a question from Lists and Tuples. They always ask you this, mutable and immutable. So this is a technical term for changeable. What does duplicate means? Duplicate means if there is 1 at, or 4 or 6, I can put 4 here, and I can put again 7, again some values, and then for example, okay, 89 I have already put, so I say 80 and I say again 4. So you can see 4 here 3 times. So your list will not be bother about whether you are putting duplicate values or not. So it will just display the values as it is, right? So this means that it is a type of data structure where we can store the values which are in an ordered form, which can be changed, and there can be some duplicate values. Why we are focusing on these 3 things? Because there are some data structure in Python which are not ordered, which are not mutable, which don't have any duplicate values. You can't put duplicate values in it, right? So we will see in the later videos and later sessions. Today we are focusing on only list and tuples. Okay, this is clear now. Now what we can access, there is one concept of called as the list. This is list. Now is list methods are there. What are the different methods over there? So if you are a new and a beginner, I focus, and I always tell my students that whenever you are working with lists, try to work with the Visual Studio. You will get all the functions. You need not to remember them. You will get all the functions automatically, and you just have to concentrate on the operation of these functions. So what is the first function? Append, clear, copy, then count, then extend, then index, then insert, then pop and remove. So reverse, then sort. So these are the functions which are there for, you can say, making the different operations over the list. The first function which is there, that is called as append. Append means you want to add something. If you want to add something, that is called as append. So you want to add, that addition will be always, we will just type all the functions, and one by one we will see what exactly the functions are going to be. So this function will add some value at the end. So if I say L dot append and I put 78 here, and if I just try to put again print here, and if I just say L, if you try to run the code, you will see 78 will be at the end of the, you can say, list. You will see that. Okay, so what we will do, we just we just delete these 3 lines, and then we focus on the functions only. So this is append. The next function which we want to go with, that is L. If I say dot, if I am saying there are the all functions clear and all, clear we will do later, because clear means it will remove all the things, so we don't want to remove at this time. We just want to insert now. For example, insert, what I want to insert and where I want to insert. So for example, I want to insert at a first position or second position. What will be the second position? That will be 0, 1, 2. So 1 will be the second position. So if I say I want to insert at the third, so 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 8 will be little bit move to the right mode, and in between 6 and 8 the new value will be inserted. So if I say 700, and now if I just try to run the code and I see what will be the output, you will see between the 6 and 8 it has given the value 700. So in this way you can insert the value, you can go for the insertion of the values. So all the functions are very easy. Now if you want to remove some particular value, you can just directly say L dot remove. So I just want to remove, for example, 22. So I just want to remove 22, and then you just run this program and you will see 22 will not be there, which is there in the earlier list after 8, but 22 is not there. Now the question arises, what is the difference between pop and the remove? Remove is also for the removing and pop is also for the removing. This is again an interview level question. They can ask you in an interview, what is the difference between remove and pop? Remove and pop means removing the element always at the end. Like queue, if you have remember the stacks and queues. So stack was removing stack. This terminology is extracted from the stack concept. There is a two concept, push for the insertion and pop for the deletion. So at the end, so it will delete always at the end. So if I just try to run the code, I'll get the message. I get the list without 22 and without 4 I should get. But why I am getting this 4? Because I have not printed after that. Yes, I have definitely print also here, but why it is showing, it is not giving me the correct answer? Yes, I just go with the things again and I just run it again. It should give me the value without 4. So pop is not giving me the exact answer. It should give me the exact answer. We just rectify it whether I am doing the right thing. Yes, I am doing the right thing. Basically I am removing also, maybe that is the reason, but that should not be the reason. It should remove the last element which is over there. So in my case, remove the last. Sometimes compiler also, so I just change this value to somewhere else, and then I'll see whether it is giving me the, no, it is displaying only the first list. So L, it is not removing in this case. You just, okay, something is missing, so I just put them as a comment, and now I just display this again. Yes, now it is giving me the correct list, and again I just pop this L dot pop, and if I just try to run the code, and this time, yes, definitely. So sometimes in compiler, so don't give up like this. You have to, you will learn from the, you can say, mistakes. So there was no mistake, but sometimes what we have to do, debugging. Okay, what was the problem? What was actually problem was nothing, but sometimes compiler takes the same values. In your case, it will not be like that. Maybe in my system there will be some glitch, and that's the reason it is, but pop function will always work like this. Okay, so if you find something like that, put them in a comment and only work with the pop. So this is a function for remove and pop. So remove is for removing a particular element and pop is for removing the last. Then the next function is there, that is called as sort. Sort means you want to sort the list alphabetically. Just put a sort here, that's it. If you will see the list here, if you just print before pop, I don't want now pop, I just put that also in a comment. And here if you before sort, if you just print the list, we just want to check it out, so print the list, so it will show you as it is. But if I sort it, so 41 should be before 80. Okay, 4 should be before 6. So if I just try to run the code, and I should get the exact what I want. Yes, I am getting the exactly sort. So how beautifully sort is here. In C programming or in C++ programming, we have to do all the bubble sort, selection sort, or any other sorting techniques. There is no inbuilt functions over there, we need to make. So now in Python, that is the reason Python is so popular, because we have to just use the function. Rest is, rest thing, we don't have to bother about how it is going to sort and what is the operation behind it. We just have to work with it. Okay, and then this is a sort method. So L dot, so done, append, clear. We don't, clear is not there. So copy means when you want to copy one list to another. That is a very easy, you must have done in other programming languages also. You just try it out if you want to. Count means what you want to count here. Count means you want to count some value, that means how many times it is. So if I say 4, count this, so I need to put a print statement, and then it will display that value. So it will display the how many number of times the 4 is. So it will display you the count, that is 2. So you just see 1 4 and the second 4, so it is giving you the 2. In this way you can work with the functions which are, or the methods we say in your Python, that is a list Python. So we had worked with all the functions, I think. So one is append, one is clear, one is copy, count, okay, insert, pop, remove, there is a reverse and sort. So we will work with the extend now. Extend and copy, append is almost the same, but what does extend means? Extend means you want to join the 2 list, not the 1 list. So what you will do, you will just go here and you will just give the name L1 to it, and you will say L2 is this, and you will just put some values, random values you want to put, or some, you can say whatever you want to put. So L2 is there. Now you will say L1 dot what you want to extend. So you will say L1 dot, so I think it is going with something, yeah. So we will just delete all the things which we are not required. Why to go with that? L dot, and there is one function called as extends. If it is giving, then okay, L is not there, that's the reason it is, because we have changed the name. So it is L1 now. L1 dot, that's the reason it was not suggesting you extend. And then I say L2. So L2 is your what? L2 is your the another list. So you just want to concatenate, combine them together, extend. So just L1 display, and now just try to run the code and see whether I am getting the same output. Yes, it is extended. So this is the difference between your append and your extend. Extend says I will combine the 2 or 3 lists, whatever you want to, and append says I will append a value at the end. Okay, hope this is clear to you. Now the last function which we should work with, there is a one more function, index. Index means it will return you the index of the value which we have already worked with. So if I just say L dot index of 12 or index of 3, so it will whatever the value, index of 22. So what will be the index of 22? 0 1 2 3 and 4. Just do it yourself, something you should do yourself, so that it will be easy for you people. Okay, so there is one more function called as your reverse. Reverse means, for example, L1 dot reverse. Reverse is a very easy function. Reverse means whatever the values are there, it will display you in the same order. So if I just say L1 dot reverse, and if I just try to print it like this, if I say L1 here, and if I just put like this, if I just run it. So it is giving you the value when you are concatenating the value. It is 1 4 6 8 22 33 4 7 80 41 23 34 56, and you are saying reverse it. So what will be the first value? First value will be 56 34 23. So 56 20 34 23. So this is the way you have to, that is, it is very easy. That is, reverse means you don't have to you don't have to display in a descending order, you just have to display in a reverse order. So this is all about your list and the methods which are there with the list. Okay, so now when we talk about tuples, tuple is very similar to the list, but the thing is, what are the different changes which you have to go with. So here it is ordered, here it is immutable. So tuple means, when I talk about tuples, so you have to always remember of that tuple will be ordered like it was ordered, and it is immutable. This thing you have to always remember of tuples. So immutable means we can't change it, not changeable. That means if you want to change a value, it will not going to allow you to change it. And duplicate value will be same as in the list. That means when I say it is not, it is a type of data structure which is ordered, that means indexing will be similar to that, 0 to L minus 1, no change. Duplicate means values will be duplicated, it can be. Immutable means you can't change. But what is the difference in declaration? So assume T is a tuple. Whenever there is a parenthesis, round brackets, always remember this. So that means it's a tuple. You have to remember it. So if this is a tuple, it's a blank tuple. I have not put anything in it. So whenever there are brackets, it's a list. Whenever there are round brackets, it's a tuple. So what you will do, you will just put the values as we have already worked with the values. You can put random values like this, like this. So this is tuple. Accessing is very easy, like we were accessing, like print if you want to. So if I say print T, and if I just try to run the code, it will give you the values as in a parenthesis, as earlier it was giving brackets, right? So this is a tuple. Now the question is, what is the difference? It is ordered as it is ordered as the list was ordered. If I say 4, so T of 4 means 0 1 2 and 3 and 4. That means it should give me the 77 value, even it is 5th value, but 0 to 4, so that means 77. So that it is clear that it is ordered. That means indexing will be always from 0 to L minus 1, and reverse indexing is very similar. Like if I say -1, so what it should give? It should give 55 if I am going right. So 55 is a value it is giving. Clear. Now the question is, what does immutable means? So if I say, if I don't delete this from position, and if I say I want to change the 77 value, I know it is at 4th position, and I say 0 1 2 3 and 4th. I don't want this 77, it should be replaced with 67. Whether I can replace this and I can print the value again, if I say T as I was working with list, whether it is possible here. If I just try to run the code, see, it is going to show you this message: tuple object does not support item assignment. That means we can't change this. This is the practical. Everyone should do this, because when you do the practicals, then it is easy for you to remember what is immutable. That's the reason whenever we are going, taking some interviews for the interns, or you are going for interviews and they are going to ask you what is immutable and mutable, and you are not able to explain it because you are not doing it practically. You have to do it practically, and then you will get the clear idea what does it means immutable. Okay, that's the reason I was stressing on it, that immutable, what is immutable. So this is the thing which you have to run always and always remember. Duplicate means, as we have already worked with, if I say 88 comma here, and if I just try to run the code, and if I just go with it, and if I see, so it is saying it is saying that object does not support item. This is the error for this one. This is not the error for duplicacy. So if I just try to put it as a comment here, or I just delete this statement. Now I put duplicate. So duplicate has nothing to do, you know, duplicate has no error because it says that I can store the duplicate values. So like the list, tuple also store the duplicate values. This is the basic difference between the both list and tuples. Now, like in list, there were some methods which were inbuilt. In tuples also there are some methods which are inbuilt, but there are not so many methods because we can't edit, we can't change, we can't, you know, do anything. So there will be some just count and index. So we had already worked with the count and index, so you can just go with it, and you can just you know, if you have to go with index, so we have not worked with index there, so we will work with index here. So if I say t of index, and if I say index of 88, if 88 is there, yeah, so if I just enter, and I need to put print before it because then it will display you the what is the index of 88. If I just try to run the code and I just see, so it will display you the what is the index of 88. So in this way you can work with the tuples. So tuple is what we have already worked, ordered, immutable, and it allows us for the duplicate values. But if I talk about what are the different functions here, there are two main functions. One is index and one is count. Index is for displaying the index value, and count is for counting the number of times the value is. Now if I, you know, repeat the same method for the count, what it will give, if I say instead of this index, if I say count and 88, so this should give me the 2 value, and this should give me the value for indexing. So first index, it is giving you the first index. So first index is what? 0, 1, 2 and 3. So first value will give 3 and second value will give 2. So in this way you can work. See? So every time you have to work with the programming part like this, you have to learn the theory concept and you have to do the practical of it. If you are not going with